So
where will Juan go? Who knows? Maybe Juan will go play in Japan.
Well, he's been in California for a while now.
I know. Did he
he's
move
been
here
meeting
because the
with
taxes
everyone.
are too high? You need to come back to Florida.
He's definitely not going to sign there in my mind, but the Dodgers are going to meet with him because if you're his representation, you're going to meet with all the big boys. So Alden Gonzalez said that they're meeting. Mark Feinsand reported it first, and Alden said, yes, it'd be absurd of them to follow $1 billion offseason with a $600 million contract, but Ohtani's first year in LA blew away all their financial projections, and they need an outfielder.
Oh. Kratz is thinking Phillies.
For the podcast
Here's
crowd,
the thing.
Kratz is taking a drink out of a Phillies cup.
Here's the thing for me. If they can get him to sign an Ohtani-type deal for $2 million, no. Sure, Juan, welcome to L.A., brother.
There's a better chance of, I don't know, just pick anything, than him taking an Ohtani $2 million
of us doing this segment tomorrow?
Oh, we're definitely doing it.
Okay.
I would do this 7 days a week if he took a $2 million a year. There's no chance he's doing that. But really, what is the percentage chance the Dodgers are signing Juan Soto in your mind?
Under 10.
Under 10. I think even that's aggressive. I was going to say maybe 2%, maybe. That they're going to – can they beat everyone? Sure. But is it likely? No. Also, I remember I was looking, Michael Kay, I think it was in the past 24 hours, was talking about Baerga throwing that, what was it, 16,660 or something like that. And Kay, during his commentary, basically said he heard that Steve Cohen's just like, yeah, I'm going to go 50 mil over everyone. Like, here's the number. All right, so 610's your number. We're 660. It's not like, and this is what I always say, you want to get a player, I mean, you don't necessarily have to do that every time, but if you're the owner and you want the guy bad enough, you're just like, yo, I'm going 50 over everyone.
That's Steve Cohen.
That's a mic drop. If money is the top
priority. But if I'm Scott Boras, I'm using that against him, though.
Why? Because you're trying to get
I'd be like, oh, the Yankees offered 700. Steve Cohen's like, 750. You're like, you idiot. Yes, we'll take that. No one else is over 400.
But you have to, if you're bluffing, and the bluff gets called, then it's a big problem, right? If you call and you say 700 and the Yanks don't actually have 700, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So there's been fibs before. Who was the one that I loved the most? Well, there's been a bunch, but Greinke, did you ever read that story? I talked about it once on this show before. They called Greinke super last minute-ish. They were like, hey, do we still have a chance? We decided we're back in on him. And they threw out some number. Greinke's best offer at the time was like 150, right? And they were like, 185, do we have a chance? And they were like, I don't know. And then they call back, they're like, fine, 210. And it's like, dude was at 150. He got an extra $60 million.
Well, I mean, the Mariners and Cano, right, were bidding against themselves forever. And I think Boras played, didn't he have Boras too? He played, no, he had Rock Nation.
He was Rock Nation. Chris Davis
is another one.
One suitor. That was legit. One suitor.
And they're still paying that contract.
Yeah.
Jason Worth.
It's a fun game.
Jason Worth had $77 million on the table, and he got 140 from the Nets, 120 from the Nets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was an overpay to
they
try
had
to.
to.
The Nets had to do that. And listen, they won a World Series because of that. So, listen, that contract, I mean, yeah,
it's all about the market.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of those Tiger guys back when the day when Boras was getting them all to go to Illich. Or there's a lot of them that were like, I don't know if I was going to get that much, but we fooled them. But then I've also heard of some guys that got caught. And some guys that have gotten caught trying to play that game too. So
you say, hey, I got a better offer. And they say, okay, well, this was the best we can do. We're going to move on. And then, oops, you didn't have a better offer. So that happens. By the way, Jason Worth was just on the Philly show. So part of the FT network. If you want to check that show out on YouTube or wherever you get your pods, give it a listen if you're a Phillies fan. And then, let's show Brooksgate putting up the money spent in free agency since 2020. So from 2020 up until, I'm guessing, this offseason, where it really hasn't started yet. The Dodgers are at $159 billion. Do we know if that's present day value, though? I don't know the answer to that. You know what I'm saying? Because Ohtani's contract's really $450.
Let's go to the bottom. Let's just, everyone knows these five teams.
Yeah, who cares?
Let's go down to like 30.
Okay, let's do it. You want to know
remember, everybody out there, $1.5 billion is the number the Dodgers have spent. Now let's go to 30.
The worst team since 2020, I think it's a shocker that they're this much lower than every other bottom feeder. So checking in on, according to this list on Brooksgate, at $57.9 million spent, is the Baltimore Orioles.
I'd
That
say
is
where
about
Juan will
20
not
million
go.
less.
Juan will not go to the Pirates, the Sacramento A's, the Rays, the Guardians, or the Orioles.
Yeah.
And you throw the
Or the
Marlins in
White
there
Sox.
too.
Where, so
But
tomorrow,
the White Sox aren't on that list, though, are they? They're in the middle.
we might have to do an animation
Somewhere in the
tomorrow.
middle.
Where won't Juan go?
Yeah, let's change it. Where would Juan not go? We have a better chance at that one.
And basically the answer is all of these teams are not in the running. The only team on this list that some people have thought could be involved was the Mariners, but I made sure that I reminded everyone that they were not in on others that they should have been in on.
You know
They're
what the most
definitely not
surprising
going to win the
number
bid.
in that? You know what honestly the most surprising team in that whole list is? The Cardinals at 20.
Cardinals.
Because they're a big market. I know St. Louis isn't a huge market, but they have all of like that whole Midwest area, right?
Mm-hmm.
From like it's almost like from Dallas north, they get Illinois, Iowa, Indiana, Missouri.
Sure.
They get like that kind of that whole big area.
I'm going to
that have
protect
grown
them a
up
little bit.
as Cardinal fans.
Yeah. Okay. So should they spend more? No doubt. Right. But this is a free agent list. Paul Goldschmidt was an extension. Nolan Arenado was a trade acquisition. Those are big contracts. So I'm not saying they're where they should be, but I'd have to look.
This is just free agent.
This is just free agent.
So like
this
when they re-signed Arenado, or
That
they took
didn't
on
count.
Arenado, they re-signed Goldschmidt. These are not considered in this number.
No.
But this is just. But still, you'd think the Cardinals would go out and get someone.
Well, not this year. They're taking a step back.
Well, I know not this year, but I'm saying the last 4 years, you would have thought they would have gone out and really spent on somebody.
Like I'm going off Spot Track, right? Some people like that for 2024, and they were 12. That's not terrible. Like the teams ahead of them are teams that should be ahead of them. Boston, San Francisco, Toronto, Cubs, Braves, Dodgers, Philly. Like they're actually right there in terms of the rankings. So I get what you're saying, but I think they're close, Kratz. What do you think?
My question is, because everyone talks about salary cap. We have a soft cap. Without an actual salary cap, then when you have a salary cap, would all these teams then spend it? Or would they have to sell because they couldn't spend? Like we have to find somewhere in between there. And like the Brewers are on that list, but they spent 200 some, 180 on Yelich. That was just an extension. So teams that are on that list have made big moves, but to me, the Orioles can't be on that list. The bottom team there is below the Rays. And I've said it before, I know the Rays have made significant offers to other players. I get it. They didn't do it. They didn't go high enough to get somebody to come and play there. But like the Orioles, come on, let's go.
Of course. And to add to that, Kratz, they don't have any extensions, right? So when I'm talking about the Cardinals, I'm like, hey, Goldie, Arenado, whatever. They haven't locked up any of their young dudes yet. That's got to happen to at least one or two. Like we all know who the guy is that they need to heavily invest in. It was more of a debate. Now it's not.
It's Gunnar.
It's Gunnar Henderson.
But you should also try to lock up Adley. I'm sorry.
Sure. But
it's definitely Gunnar.
Yes,
100%.
Gunner's the guy. And also, I'll help them out a little bit here. This is their first real offseason in the new era of Baltimore Orioles baseball. Now, you need to make a statement right away. So if we get through this offseason and it was not pretty for them, then we can just hammer them. But before this time period, this was an owner who was displaying ultimate ineptitude and who was trying to sell the team, right? John Angelos. This is a new ownership group. And that's everything. They are, as we remind everyone almost every day, they are the sole decision makers. They get advice, right? But they are the sole decision maker on transactions like this. Ultimately, it comes down to how much they want to invest in the team and if they decide to invest in certain players. So Michael Elias will give recommendations. Hey, I think we should go after Burns and try and re-sign him, or hey, let's try and keep Santander, et cetera, or not. But it's going to come down to the new ownership group. So we'll see what they do. Do you guys think they're going to make people feel happy enough this offseason with what they do or not?
No.
You think no? You think it's going to be disappointing?
Nope.
I don't think Mike Elias has that in him. I think he needs an ownership group that has to be like, I mean, not like Steve Cohen, but more like hands-on, like, hey, who are we going to go get? If they just say, Mike, you've done a great job of building this roster, building this team, here we go, we're excited to watch him, then I don't know that he has that in him. I think anybody can spend money, but I don't think he can spend his prospect capital because he spent so long building up his savings account with all these prospects. And he's just like, well, what if this person doesn't pan out and we get rid of this person and they pan out? Like, I think he's going to need some prodding to be able to actually make those moves.
I love a great deal, but I'm not going to run sprints in the outfield just to save a few bucks. It has to be easy. No hoops, no BS. With Mint Mobile, it really is that easy to get wireless for $15 a month with the purchase of a 3-month plan. Purchase and activation is super easy too.
To get started, go to mintmobile.com/territory. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. You can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number.
To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/territory. That's mintmobile.com/territory. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/territory.
$45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on their first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Hey everybody, be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.